Man.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Hey, I think we're live. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, perfectly.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool. Hey, this is Johnny Beane doing a live hangout this evening. 5:04 p.m. Pacific, 8:04 Eastern, June 6th, 2016. And we were going to talk about EVH Eddie Van Halen guitar pickups. The different, the official ones, the Seymour Duncan ones, what else? Who makes those? I don't know. But so who's in here? We got Rob Johnson.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Great, man.
Hey Rob.
Great, man. We got Kevin Dodds.
Hello, hey Johnny, hey everybody.
Hey, what's happening, Kevin?
Yes, you guys might remember Kevin from that book. What's that book you wrote, man?
More proud of the moment that I got to meet him. Yeah, that was all worth that. It was all worth the 60 seconds I got to shake his hand and get a picture.
Yeah, but it was a phenomenal book, Kevin, and you put a lot of work into it, and it was a great read. I've read it several times.
Yep. Yeah, me
Cool.
too. I've been sitting over there. Amazing.
Cool.
Awesome. And who else? Chris Hubbard. Hey, Chris.
Ow! What's up?
What's up, man? And of course, David. What's your last name, Dave?
It's Beane. David Beane.
That's wrong, man. I don't know.
Nezroff.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, we're finally doing. Huh?
David Van Halen.
Okay,
Yeah.
David Van Halen.
Diamond Dave.
Yes. So anyway, I know Kevin has a limited time in here, so feel free whenever you have to split, man. Just go ahead and split. It's all good.
All right, see ya.
Thanks, man.
Hi.
I'm out of here, guys.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Say hi.
Yo.
Dave, is that you talking?
Yo, you're live on the internet right now.
That's right.
Yes.
Hi.
He can contribute something. He's actually seen Van Halen live.
And
Awesome.
Oh, awesome.
That's so cool.
Awesome. Two great bands. Yes. So we finally get to do this. We've been threatening for a little while to do this, and we're finally doing it. We're going to talk about the EVH guitar pickups, what we think of them, blah, 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 blah. And, of course, anybody looking at this, you can chime in as well. So, I don't know. Nesdal, how should we start this? Have you thought about this?
Well, let's see. Let's start in chronological order.
Okay.
Do you want to start with the original pickup that was in the Frankenstein, which is a 59 Gibson, like from a late 50s PAF from the Frankenstein, or do you want to start with the Music Man era?
We can start with let's start with the Music Man, I guess.
Okay.
Although wasn't there another pickup way back when? Wasn't there before that? Was there an Eddie Van Halen model pickup? Not necessarily official.
It was a DiMarzio. It was a
Yes.
DiMarzio. They ripped him off.
Yep.
Yep. I'm trying to remember what it was called. I think they called it either they called it the EVH or they called it the they called it something that had to do with his name, and he put a stop to it.
Was that the EVH humbucker they had out, and it was actually the evenly voiced humbucker they had it. They had to change it to stand for evenly voiced humbucker. I recall something like that.
I think that's it. I'm not 100% positive, but I think that's it.
I think the ad said something like get the Van Halen sound, and that was like one of the first times that they had said something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
The evenly voiced thing, I think that was like evenly voiced harmonics, and I
Yeah,
think that,
that's
I think that was Seymour Duncan.
Okay, you're right, Johnny. I think that was a Duncan. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Okay.
Mhm. But I think those are still available, I believe.
Yeah, and they claim to have the the Van Halen sound, obviously. Never played through one. I don't know what they sound like, but a couple of the folks that I know that have owned them, they say that they have a pretty distinctive sound. A gentleman that I know that has one of those says he kind of compares it to like a 1984-ish kind of sound. What he said.
Mhm.
Can't verify that, but
Mhm. That sounds cool to me, man.
I'd like to try one.
Well, all right. So the pickups that we're going to discuss are the DiMarzios that are in the Music Man guitar, the Peavey Wolfgang pickups, the EVH Wolfgang pickups, the Frankenstein pickup that's in the replica or the one that you can buy, and I guess we can also add the Duncan 78.
Yeah.
We can add.
That's
We
right,
can
I can help.
add.
I was
We can
hoping you'd
add-
say something I could help.
Yeah. After that, we'll talk about the Star Wars pickups.
Yeah. We can talk about the Duncan 59.
The Chewbucker. Remember that?
Very good. Very good. We can talk about the JB, and we can talk about the Super Distortion that Larry DiMarzio first made Eddie Van Halen in 1979.
Dave, do we want to mention the Mighty Mike, the original Mighty Mike that Eddie had back in the day?
I didn't hear a word you just said because of all that stuff that just happened. What's
going on over
there? It was like shoes in a dryer.
Is Hef in here? Did he dump a bag of rubbish or something again?
My God.
No, I said, do you want to talk about? This is not one. This is the DiMarzio, but do we want to talk about the Mighty Mite, the red one that Ed had in his original Charvel back in day one, the photo shoot?
Yeah.
We could talk about that, except it didn't work.
Yeah. Let's just, instead of saying, do you want to talk about this, talk about that, let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
Just pick one.
Real quick, I remember when you built your Star guitar back a year and a half ago, you posted something on the links. I think it was you, and you were looking for some feedback on what folks thought you should use for a humbucker, and I think a lot of folks gave some opinions, but I was one of the guys that mentioned try the Duncan 78, and because that's what I had in the Star guitar that I built a few years ago, and I tell you, I loved it. I don't know if I think that's what you used, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep, there it is right there.
Yeah.
I put a bobbin on it to make it double cream, but that is the Duncan 78, and this is the one guitar and the one pickup that I can honestly say that I have had more people approach me after gigs and go, what is that? What kind of pickup is that? And I had a guy even recently go, well, I thought that looked like it sounded like a Duncan 78. He goes, but it's double cream. That must be custom shop. And I just go, no, I just put a sticker on it. It's just got a bobbin topper on it.
Yeah.
But it is really a good sounding, pickup. I really love it, especially with the combination of this gigantic body, and it just works, So, give you a little sample here. That's pretty fast.
Yeah. Can I see that again? Can I just see the guitar again?
Sure, let me back up a little.
He did a great job on that.
Yeah, Kevin, we need to talk. We need to talk, you and I.
So the best part is that it's a real Dan Electro.
Yeah.
It's a 1960. So I got a 1960, and I just put it on this body with the 78, and oh boy, it's a favorite. In fact, for one band that I play in, this is my main guitar.
Dave,
Did you turn that around?
Wow.
Dave, did you just see what I saw?
The fact that it said Dane Electro on the back of it?
No. Kevin, hold the headstock up again, would you please? He's got 6 in
Oh,
line.
yeah, the tuning pegs. Yep, 6-in-line tuning pegs. The left side. Yeah. Yep.
Very cool.
Oh, wait, so, that's the top. Is that a top-loading Floyd Rose nut? You don't have that, I guess, no holes in the back.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to do the holes in the back, so I put it straight on. But the thing that's really cool is it just fit really perfect.
Yeah.
But it was
that's right
almost
at the end. That's right at the end of the fretboard there. You didn't even have to make a ledge for it, did you?
No, I didn't. In fact, there's a tiny little bit of a shiv in there just to get it to the best possible height. But
yeah.
The odd thing about this thing is, though, the neck is tapered. So there's a part here. You just had to cut the body away.
Yeah.
And when I realized that I hadn't found it until I looked at a really close, detailed picture of Ed's and saw that he had cut it away there too.
Yep.
Wow. So how many bolts? How many bolts is that? Just 4 bolts, or did you do the 2 bolts underneath the neck plate?
Just 4.
Great look.
That's beautiful. Can I see the back of the guitar?
Sure. There you go.
Very
that looks
cool.
fantastic.
Very cool.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
And that's just about.
Go ahead.
That looks just about the way the real one would look. I mean, as far as everyone could tell.
Mm-hmm. Kind of an interesting.
So there's the necktie. See the necktie.
Yeah.
And the bombs.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So I was really surprised when I saw the official ones, and that the lines were all real fat, and it just wasn't really very accurate to the original. I mean, I was really surprised that, this one actually looked more accurate than the one that they would officially make.
Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, Johnny has said it a few times that, and it makes sense. They're all just tribute guitars, and if they were exact replicas, they'd be $25,000. And the fact that Eddie doesn't want, he doesn't mind that people have something similar to what he has, but he still really doesn't want anyone to have exactly what he has. So
kind of an interesting fact on that guitar.
It's understandable.
Dave and I were talking about this the other day. Dave and I were doing a little research on the tuning pegs of that Star guitar. And one of the things we found out, a good friend of ours, Jimmy Douglas, and also Scott Smith, is a friend of ours, is that guitar, when it was in its white form, when it had the white body on it before Ed painted it, it still had the Dano neck on it, or when he put the Dano neck on it, it actually had, at the time, it had Grover Rotomatic tuning pegs on it at the time, like this, Grover Rotomatic tuning pegs. And then when he painted the guitar, for some reason or other, I mean, nobody really knows, he swapped out the tuning pegs, the Schallers, the 6-in-line, and like you nailed it, perfect, Kevin. That they're offset. The 3 on the left are higher than the 3 on the right. And that was a good pickup on that. I didn't even notice that until very recently, after all these years.
Yeah, looks great. And those are Spurzells, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very cool, man. That's one of the hippest looking stars I've ever seen. Excellent job.
Man. And I gig with this guitar, man. Like I play with this thing.
Cool.
Got such a big body and such a nice pickup sound. And
do you have a hard time accessing the higher frets?
Oh God, no, man. This is it's like a folk guitar almost. It's just so flat. I mean, there's almost no arch to it. So I mean, stuff like it's pretty good up there.
Yeah. For some reason on my Star, I have a very hard time getting my hand and wrist up through the horn. It hits the
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, there's a pretty big wedge there.
You
Yeah.
can't go up high on those.
Mm-hmm.
But that pickup, that Duncan
Now,
78, is exactly the same one I have in my Neptune Kramer. It's a Duncan 78, and I absolutely love it.
Cool.
So, all
Hey,
right. So let's talk about the 78. What is it that you love about that pickup? What does it do to your ears?
It's real warm and has a real nice, smooth burst to it.
Yeah.
Smooth and warm is just the best way I can possibly describe it.
Now, Kevin, what body wood guitar?
This is alder, I think.
Okay, so that's probably why it sounds so good in your guitar. I have a 78 in my Circles guitar, which it's a Northern Ash, so it's a little shrill for me. It's a little bright. Not too crazy about that pickup in that guitar.
Yeah, my Unchained is also an ash wood, but I've got just a straight Duncan 59 in that, and it sounds really good.
Yeah, I need to change that pickup out. I also need to change that body out. I want to make it a 2-inch body like the original one.
Right, the best I could do is a shallow neck pocket on mine, so mine's a little heavier body, but like I got my Unchained and my Rude, and the difference is that the Unchained's a little heavier and got a shallower neck pocket.
Cool.
But I love
Very
Unchained.
cool.
I agree with you on that too, Kevin. When I had my Star guitar, well, I have a Star, but mine's the EVH one now. When I had the one that I built, I also put a Duncan 78 in it, and it was probably one of the warmest, chunkiest sounds I've ever heard. It was a phenomenal pickup. Really, really liked it, and that's why I threw one in my neck.
Yeah, and it is the trick to, I guess part of what the larger conversation here is matching the right pickup to the right body.
Yeah.
And I've certainly mismatched them. I've certainly mismatched them myself. But when you hit a home run, occasionally it's pretty nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Anyone
Hey guys,
else have any?
Hey guys, I only have another couple of minutes. But one of the things I wanted to hit real quick before I left was on my Frankenstein. I have I chose to do like the 1980 version.
Nice.
So
Cool.
got the record. This is a Bee Gees record for the pickguard. But it has this Crusader. It's just so killer. It's got these huge magnets, and they're just giant scoops out of them. And it, too, is a really, really warm-sounding pickup. And I haven't Floyded this one out yet. And I don't know if I'm going to. I might upgrade it to do a Floyd, but I kind of like the whole 1980 thing. And it's got the fat headstock and just a white nut.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the other kind of different one for me, was to have that with the Crusader in it. And again, it's just a really cool, kind of nice, even, warm sound. Otherwise, I'm a Duncan 59 guy.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I'd love to hear what that sounds like at some point.
Yeah, I'll do a demo of that.
Hey,
You don't see a
Kevin.
lot of 1980 replicas out there. Very, very, very few. That's commendable. You did.
I had to do something different.
Yes. Hey, Kevin. Alan Garber says hey.
Hey, Alan.
Says hello.
Old buddy.
Yep, that's what he said. Old buddy. Same thing. Cool, cool. Well, hey, it was great to see you, Kevin. I know you got to. I think somebody's hungry.
Yeah, somebody's pulling at me, telling me to go. Hey, guys, we'll do this. Hey, Johnny, we'll do this more often, man, so it doesn't have to be so rare, okay?
Casey.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We got a lot to talk about.
Cool. All right. We'll take care.
Nice meeting you, Kevin.
Hey, take care, David. Take care,
I
Rob.
don't know you, but
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
I say bye.
Peace out.
Hi and bye.
Bye, guys. That's cool. That was a nice looking Frankenstrat. Like I said, you don't see a lot of 1980 versions of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
When you think about
That Star guitar was
Yeah.
really cool.
Dave, did you see
that was the star of the show.
Did you see the process
What's that?
when he built it on VH Links, Dave? I followed
No.
that guitar when he
No.
built that on VH Links, and it was very, very impressive. He built his about 6 months after I did mine, because there wasn't a lot of Star guitars out there at the time. And I did one, Kevin did one, and there was a couple of others, and his was just phenomenal. Yeah, it really came out great.
Wow.
What was that? That
What
wasn't
was
me.
that noise again?
Half.
Oh, goodness.
Excuse me.
All right.
Cool.
So anyone else on the Duncan 78? Anyone else have anything to say about that pickup?
Myself, I've never used one, so
Me
Duncan
either.
78. I can't comment.
Okay.
Although I
so
hear
let's press on.
great things though.
Let's press on. What's next?
Well, I mean, what? I guess what? The Music Man?
Yeah.
I'm sure there was
let's
other
do
stuff
Music
out
Man.
there. I'm sure there's been lots of stuff. But as far as
Yeah,
let's
I
talk
mean,
let's talk about the official stuff. First.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay. So good. Rob has one. Excellent.
I got mine right here.
Excellent.
Oh.
Okay. So first of all, so what do we know about those pickups? What are they?
The DiMarzio, kind of like a tone zone, I believe.
Well, the bridge is a tone zone and the neck is an Air Norton, and that is fact. At the time when they were building the guitar, they were not allowed to say tone zone or Air Norton.
Mm-hmm.
They were just DiMarzio, Eddie Van Halen pickups.
Yep.
But the secret is that they are a tone zone and an Air Norton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very nice sounding pickups. Very nice sounding. Very, very different from the PVs and the EVHs, in my opinion. Not quite as dark. A little brighter sounding, I would say. I don't know. You agree, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very smooth sounding, and not hot. Least hot of all the pickups.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say the least hot and the cleanest. To me, you could just hear the individual strings on this when you plug it in.
Yes.
I would say they're the most, well, I guess like what you guys are saying. They're
Transparent. They have a very transparent sound. The neck pickup especially.
Yeah, and they're not the same pickup. They were built specifically for those positions, the bridge and the neck.
Yes.
They're both very different within themselves, so you couldn't switch them around. It wouldn't sound the same if you switched them around.
I remember reading an article in Guitar One, I think it was. It was Guitar One. I have the magazine somewhere. I have to hunt it down. That when Eddie switched over to Peavey, he tried to take these pickups with him, and they wouldn't give him to him. He wanted to take the pickup with him, and Ernie Ball held on to him, and they wouldn't let him have the rights to him. And along with the body, I believe. So when he went to the Peaveys, he had to voice those out himself also. But a very awesome sounding pickup. I believe. I really like the sound, but like you guys just pointed out, very different from the others, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I've recorded for years. I've recorded with my Music Man with those pickups, and I can always tell when I go back and listen to either demos over the years or recordings that I know I use that guitar. I can always hear that guitar. That guitar has a very what's the word? Very unique sound to it. You know,
Yeah.
at least among my stable of guitars,
Yeah.
I can always
I
tell
agree.
like that's the Music Man. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, anytime that I play the guitar, anytime if I'm playing, you know, if I'm playing any one of my guitars, you can absolutely hear when it's that guitar. It's easy to pick out.
Yeah. Great.
And the funny thing is, Chris, when I there are times when I watch some of your videos, and when you're using that guitar, like I won't watch. Like I'll just listen, and I'll know that it's that guitar and not any of your other ones. I just can hear it. I can hear that guitar. And it seems to me that most of those Music Man guitars sound incredibly alike. They're very consistent sounding, like from one to another. Playability-wise, they're different, but sound-wise, you can pretty much close your eyes and not be able to tell what. Like, I couldn't tell whether you were playing your purple one or the amber one, but I would know that you're playing a Music Man guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I had my blue one, it was the same thing. Very, very difficult. They both sounded the same, my blue one and my amber. Boy, the quilt on that guitar of yours, Chris, is horrible. I almost can't even see it.
I know.
Oh my God! I'm almost wondering if that's a what the hell's his name in an Ed Roman top. Did Ed Roman retop that guitar when he was alive?
The Ed Burgers. Remember the Ed Burgers?
Yeah.
Sure do. Yeah, but that top is just ridiculous. I thought I had a good top on mine, but that one takes the cake. You win.
Yeah, that's a crazy quilt right there.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's just insane.
Wow.
You must have dropped dead when you first bought that guitar just by looking at it.
I jumped on this quicker than I don't even know.
Don't even say it.
I saw it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. Congratulations on that. Good guitar.
But yeah.
All right, so now we have the Music Man. We've talked about the Music Man.
Yep.
Now we go to the Peaveys.
Well, I mean, let me just say, the Music Man. I know we're talking about the pickups, but the Music Man guitar, that was my main guitar for a lot of years. I would say 13 years, maybe. That was my main guitar. And when I got Peavey Wolfgang, I would say when I got the Peavey Wolfgang about 10 years ago. I could tell. I mean it's obvious that the Peavey is the next step of that guitar. You know, I mean like what you guys are saying, how Eddie couldn't take those pickups. He had to totally redesign the guitar once he went with Peavey. You know. But as far as the sound of the Peavey, to me, it's not the same at all of the Music Man. They're very different.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Very different.
Yeah.
The Peavey to me is it's louder. You know, it's a louder sound. It's hotter. Some of those reasons could be. I believe the pickups are closer to the strings on the Peavey than they are on the Music Man. Or is that just mine?
Yeah, well, the reason for that is because the reason for that, Johnny, is because the fretboard radius is flatter, so the strings are going to be closer to the pole pieces on the pickups.
I mean, a lot closer.
The radius.
A lot closer.
Yeah, a lot.
Like
closer,
I said, maybe that's just
absolutely.
me.
No, it's not you, because the radius of the fretboard on the Music Man is more curved. So the strings pretty much have to curve along with the fretboard radius, and that means that your D and G strings are going to be farther away from the pickups.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and real quick, somebody actually asked a question about the Music Man pickups. Hang on. Let me find it. Somebody's barking.
It's my dog.
That's not Howie doesn't bark. Our rooster barks louder. Our rooster makes more noise than Howie does.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hang on. We got a bunch of questions already here. Okay. Well, I'll just get them out of the way as far as the order of when they came in. One Seville, huh? Sevillana?
Yeah.
Is that Joe? One Sevillana. Is that Joe from California? I think I remember we were talking to him yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
He says, "Hi guys, question for Rob." So real quick, what is your favorite wood and humbucker pickup for 5150 banana headstock build? Oh, he says Joe. It is Joe. Hey Joe.
Hey Joe.
So your favorite wood and humbucker for a 5150 guitar?
For the 5150s, I prefer the poplar wood, just because I still believe, with all the speculation, I mean, people say basswood, poplar. Again, came right from Paul Unkert. It was poplar. I mean, that's what I'm sticking to. But I've played both out of basswood, poplar. I prefer the poplar because I like the weight of it. It's nice and light, and I also like the tonal qualities of it. And I still prefer, like in my 5150, mine is also poplar, but it's I have a Duncan custom in mine. I've tried the JBs, I've tried the 59s, and I really like them both. Great pickups, but this one is a Duncan custom, and I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And that's my preference.
Isn't a
Cool.
custom? Isn't that supposed to be like a Van Halen pickup though too?
Yeah, it's like it was basically it was a hot rodded Duncan 59, right, Dave? Basically.
Yes, well, it was a hot rodded JB is what it was, and again, this is going to be an argument not necessarily between us, but between the powers that be. Some people say it was a 59, other people say it was a JB, and what it is, the reason they came up with the name Custom is because Eddie Van Halen said he did not want his name on a Seymour Duncan pickup.
Yeah.
He didn't want his name on those pickups. They were going to name it the Van Halen pickup.
Yes.
But he said no, so they call it the Custom.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay.
It was a pickup made. It was made for Eddie. It was, Seymour had said this. We'd like to. This has got your name on it. This is. We want we want to present this to you. And he was like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Do you know when that was?
It was during the era of the 5150 guitar.
Because aren't there photos of Seymour Duncan himself with the Kramer 5150?
Yeah, holding it. Yeah, absolutely. That was in the Inside magazine, wasn't it? Wasn't that him holding the guitar at one point?
I don't remember seeing that picture. Not that doesn't mean it didn't happen. I just don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that isn't the custom maybe a what do you call it? Like a clone of the pickup that was in the 5150 itself, something like that.
Right. Yeah.
It could. Yeah. It could be. I mean, because basically his pickup, the pickup that was in the 5150 for all those years, is a modified JB, which turned into the custom.
Right.
Some people say it's a modified 59. Others say it's a modified JB. It just depends on who you want to believe. It's a modified Duncan pickup.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, my old Kramer 5150 was actually an alder body with a 59 in it, and this new build is a poplar with a JB. I can't wait to get my neck to finally try it out. Isn't that your combination,
Yeah.
Dave?
That's a great combination. That's the combination I have. It's a poplar body with a JB in it, and it to my ears it sounds exactly like. I mean, I don't have his fingers, but it sounds like the sound of the actual 5150 guitar. And Rob, I think Rob would agree with me. He was here to hear it.
Yeah,
So
I was there.
It actually sounds.
Yeah,
It sounds just like Ed's guitar.
Yeah,
Sweet.
it does. I actually, I love my 5150. I love how it plays. I love the neck. It's probably my favorite neck of all my guitars is this 5150 neck. And when I was down at Dave's, I brought my 5150, and Dave and I got a chance to play each other's 5150s. And Dave's guitar absolutely sounds incredible, and it plays fantastic too. I actually was able to play his too, and I actually liked his better than mine. I was this close to being able to take his home without him knowing it and leave mine there.
I think we have video of that. Didn't we do a hangout where you guys are both holding each other's guitars
Yeah.
before you left?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You better look and make sure that's really your
That
guitar
was,
on the wall, Dave.
And Rob, I'll tell you that back then when I couldn't see well, you probably could have gotten away with it because
And I'd still get away with it.
I couldn't really tell the color.
And I'd still get away with it.
Tell the color of my
you could see, you wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, other than the feel of it, I wouldn't have known the difference because I couldn't see the colors that well.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
But,
Hey, okay, we got a comment. Hey, Alan Garber, everybody, who Dave and I actually had the pleasure of talking to this morning.
Oh no, we didn't do any talking.
Dave and I had the pleasure of listening to Alan Garber this morning. What happens is Alan. Here's what happens. I'll tell you guys some inside stuff here. Every morning, Alan Garber texts me, wakes me up. Johnny, can we do a hangout? Every evening, Dave Nesdahl texts me, hey Johnny, can we do a hangout? Every couple days, Rob Johnson, hey Johnny, can we hang out? No, I'm just kidding, but not really though.
Not really.
But anyway, Alan wanted to talk about, so real quickly, the previous video on my channel, don't stop watching this right now, please. But after this is done, in like 3 or 4 hours, go back one video and you'll see Alan's video where he was demonstrating the intro to Van Halen's Women in Love. The tapping thing and then the picking thing. And you can check that out. But anyway, so Alan's watching this. Hey, Alan. Hey, Alan says
What's happening, buddy?
Alan says for whatever it is worth, I've had good results in my 5150 build with a Seymour Duncan 59 custom hybrid pickup. It comes with an A2 magnet, and I swapped that for an A5. It's a great pickup for me.
Alan would go 5.
Yes. A great pickup for me, but that's only relative to my guitar and rock. How do you pronounce that? It's rock. It's like Rockstar, but STAH.
Rockstar.
Rockstar. Yeah, that's what was his name that made those?
Mark.
Mark.
I forget his last name. He was an awesome dude.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yep, absolutely.
Marshall Mod 5 amp. So, yes, and also, as far as it being relative to that, basically all our opinions about these pickups and the wood and pickup combination, blah blah blah, that's what we think about the stuff. You might think different.
Yes.
Otherwise, anybody watching this now or in the future, you know,
Right.
Yep.
we can only
Exactly.
speak.
That is
we
the.
can,
That's right.
we can only speak for
That
our own
is the
stuff,
caveat.
you know, unless we're all playing through every guitar through that amp, then it'll all sound the same.
Right.
You know, but everybody's amp guitar, you know, combination is different. You know, it could be the same exact sound, but sound different to different
Yeah.
people. You know, there's many different variables. You know, so take that into consideration, please. So anyway, Alan, thanks for watching us, Alan. Real quick, let me just knock a few other comments out of the way. Let's see, was this today? Yes, it is. There's another one. Brent Z Rocks. Okay, he commented on the video. It looks like. Let's see. Jim Nichols says, "Hi guys, I'm thinking about purchasing the EVH black and yellow guitar. Keeping costs in mind, what 2 upgrades would you make to it? I assume a big block?" He says. Yeah.
The black and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
What does he mean? The new striped special?
Mm-hmm. Probably the black and yellow stripe series.
Oh, I see.
I mean, I don't know. I would just say I'll go Dave Desdal's way just because they're great bridges. I mean, I probably wouldn't really upgrade it if I had one. I have a black and yellow. I don't have a VH, but if you wanted to upgrade it, you could always throw a 1984 reissue Floyd on it with a big block, and that certainly would make it a better guitar, I guess. I believe.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and a lot of that has to do with the nut. The German nut is a bit stronger, a bit better.
Yep.
Holds tune a little bit better. On mine, I don't have an 84, but what I did was I dressed up an original German Floyd with 84 appointments because I think at the time I ordered an 84, they didn't have it in stock. So what I did was ordered, an original Floyd. I had them change the arm to put the old style arm on it and put a big block on it, and then I put titanium saddles in it as well. And it really changed the guitar. It really made it sound and feel. You know what? Didn't make it sound much different, but it felt different and it stayed in tune. It reacted different. It was a reaction more than something you could hear.
Yeah.
And that has a lot to do with it for me. I think the way it feels in your hands, the way it reacts as you play it, is just as important as how it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it sounds great but doesn't feel good in your hands, it ain't good.
Yeah, I agree.
It probably added more sustain, I would say.
A little bit more, but I mean the pickup in that guitar it's the same pickup in all of them. There's plenty of sustain in those pickups. Although I did change my pickup out and I put a DiMarzio 36th anniversary in, which I think sounds a little bit cleaner and airier. It has more air, it's breathier. And I like that sound. It also,
Good breathier?
It's also double, huh?
Not bad breathier. Good breathier.
No. Yes, good breathier. More like Listerine. Johnny, what am I going to do without you? Anyway.
Where am I going?
Yeah, so the guitar.
Where are you going?
Huh? No,
What?
I'm going to kill you. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, gosh.
I'm just kidding with you. Goodness gracious. Oh, God, don't take me seriously. Anyway.
All right, well, hey, well, let me read more of his stuff then. He has another comment here. Jim Nichols, everybody. He sent me a message on Facebook. Whereas, if anybody watching this, if you have any questions, comments, leave them in the video here, or you can message me on Facebook. Johnny Beane. Okay, this is pertaining. This is that was a cool 1980 Frankie earlier, talking about
Yeah.
Kevin Dodds. Is Dave making a 79 version with the standard trim?
That's the $78 question. Eventually, I'll do one eventually. I have 3 guitars that I'm trying to get done by the end of summer, which I'm not sure is going to happen, but I'm trying. And then after that, I'll do a black and white. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But again, 3 guitars in a couple months is a lot on my plate.
Yes. Okay, and there's more to his comment. He says, "Was there a pickguard? Huh? Was there a pickguard piece on it, or was it electrical tape around the volume knob?"
That was in 1979. He had like a square metal jack plate.
A Les Paul jack plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in 1980, he cut like an oval piece of a pickguard a little bit bigger. That's actually a topic of discussion, guys, how the pickguard shape went with that guitar over the years, you know? The discussion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a few different ones. Can't wait to see it, Dave. Rock on, guys. Jim
Thank
Nichols.
you. I'll show it to you first, Jim. As soon as I get it done.
Dave, did you see Jerry's? He did a few years back. He did the 79 version with a white pickguard too. It looked awesome.
Yeah, I've seen it. I loved it. You know, the thing with me, the reason why I'm pushing it off to a later date is because not only is it not my favorite guitar, well, it's not my favorite version of the guitar. It's just not my favorite guitar. I need to have one for the collection, but it's not my favorite one, so it can wait.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
You know, it has to function for me, and to make a one pickup guitar with a Fender tremolo that's just going to go out of tune every time I play it, it just doesn't make sense.
If I were to do it, I'd put a
not at the
void
moment.
on it.
Not until I have a little bit. Not until I'm a little bit more fluid money wise, and I have bigger fish to fry first.
Yeah.
So where are we at, Johnny? What do we got? Hello?
Yeah, Chris and I are playing One Way to Rock.
Very nice.
Okay, sorry. I don't know if you knew I was gone.
Oh, no. Didn't know.
Okay, here I am. Okay, that's another. Okay, Chris, we'll save another Chris. We'll save your question for when we get to that. Okay. Now I know why these things go 3 hours, because we go to talk about one thing and we talk about a billion other things in between. I just realized.
Dave, did you see these new tuners that came in today? As I saw topic.
And there we go.
Yeah, are those gold or are those chrome?
They're chrome Grovers, full size. I'm gonna throw them on my Star guitar.
You gonna definitely put them on?
Yeah, of course. Now I have this new toy coming. That might have to go on the back burner.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, Joe.
Good idea.
Joe from California. Okay, this is the. Let's go back to the Music Man. Are those pickups in the Music Man EVH have stamped markings on the bottom plates?
I don't know.
Do
I've
they have
never taken
stamped
them out of my
markings?
guitar.
I've never looked.
Neither have I.
I have. Because I switched when you go to switch the neck pickup around, you're able to look underneath it.
I just never did. I think it says DiMarzio, but I don't know. It may have a DP number on it, like DP blah blah blah. They have a DP number on them.
I don't think mine said DiMarzio. I mean, it's been so many years since I flipped it around right when Eddie did his, right? But I do remember that they're what they call blackbacks.
Okay.
They're black underneath.
Cool. I don't remember. I switched mine around too, and I never bothered to look.
Cool. Okay, and then Joe says, I want to buy an EVH Ernie ball, but want to make sure pickups are not. He wants to make sure if he buys one of those guitars, he wants to make sure they have the original pickups in it. He says. Okay. Yeah, you can tell. I mean, you can pretty much.
You can tell. If you open up you don't have to take the pickups out. You can open up the back cavity of the guitar and tell whether the solder joints are original or not.
But well, yes and no, because let's say the switch broke, or the pot broke, and they had to replace one of those. You can still tell, even if, it'd be all new soldering.
You're right. Well, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Because I've my switch.
But here's the deal. Now, by now the solder on that pickup, if it's original, won't be shiny anymore. It'll have like a patina on it because it's 20 years old.
Yeah.
So if it looks like old solder, it's original. You can't fake that. So I mean, solder, if it's been resoldered recently or even a couple years, it'll still look like new solder. But after 20 years, it'll kind of change its patina a little bit.
Yeah.
And it won't look as shiny.
Yeah, and it could be over 20 years too.
Yeah, you're right.
It could be several.
I keep forgetting that 95 is more than 20 years ago.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? It's like it went by just like that.
Yeah.
I got the guitar in '92.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that.
And yeah, mine has the original pot. The jack, I've replaced the jack maybe once, maybe. The switch, I went through maybe 2 switches on that guitar.
Wow.
I remember my switches would go out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All of mine is all original equipment.
Cool. So yeah, so Joe, yeah. I mean, you can, if you happen to see one of those guitars, if you want one of our opinions on that, you can send us a photo. Send us a photo of what the pickup looks like. You can tell from the top. You can tell what it looks like too. Mel says, I own a 2012 Music Man Axis. Can you guys tell me what I am missing from the EVH Music Man? So, in other words, what's the difference between the Music Man, EVH, and the Axis?
Well, the bridge is different. The Floyd is different. The neck shape is different. The body contours are different. The pickups are different. Pretty much, it's different.
It's totally different.
It's not the same pickups?
I don't think so.
No, they're not.
They're slightly different.
They are. They were voiced a little different. The there was a pretty in-depth conversation on the Ernie Ball forums back about 3 years ago on this. And at the time, I spent a lot of time on the Ernie Ball forums, and I was paying very close attention to the discussion because I owned an Axis EX at the time, which looks like an Eddie Van Halen model, but it's basically an Axis. And the only difference was it didn't have the contour on the back of the body, and the toggle switch was positioned where Eddie's was. But essentially, it was an Axis neck, and there was an in-depth conversation about the pickups and were they the original Eddie Van Halens or not. And from Sterling Ball actually got on. I don't want to say too much, but I mean I guess I can because it was on the forums. Sterling Ball actually was a member on the forum, and he got on and he said they were absolutely different pickups, neck and body, and they were voiced differently for the Axis guitar. And he didn't go into any detail. He said they're similar, but they're voiced differently.
Okay.
So there is a lot of difference between both models, as Dave said.
Yeah. The body shape, I mean, the body shape is the same other than the contours.
From the front, you look at it from the front, it looks the same. From the back, it doesn't look the same. Does not look the same. It has the Axis has like the tummy. What do you call it?
Yes,
contour.
It's a
tummy contour.
Tummy contour. Yeah.
You know, the necks are not the same. No matter. You know.
No way.
It's kind of like
they're not even asymmetrical.
It's like the Roth versus Hagar argument, which we'll save for another day. You know, the EVH Music Man neck and the Axis neck, they're not the same. And as much as people want them to be the same because most people never played the original one.
Right.
You know, they're hard to get. But unfortunately, they're not. They're not the same.
The Axis necks are much thicker up towards the top as well. They're very baseball battish, and they almost feel like a Peavey Wolfgang neck to me in a lot of ways. As far as the fatness to it, you know.
Nice guitar, Rob.
Yeah, you got the same one as me there, buddy. Exactly. Yep. The only thing I did to mine, Chris, is I put a big brass block in mine.
Nice.
That was it.
And the tremolo arm is different.
Yeah, the tremolo arm is the collar's different. Yes, exactly. The collar's different.
Oh, is yours the original?
Yeah, I put an original on because when I took it apart to make it so it didn't twirl out because I don't like it when it unscrews. I wanted it to stay. I wanted to put a little flop in it like Ed. What I found is Dave found this before I did. It felt like you were in mud. It was very muddy feeling. It didn't feel like it really grabbed or engaged. So Dave and I kind of talked about it.
It's very spongy.
Yeah, very spongy. If you choose to do that mod, if you don't do the mod and leave it alone, it's fine.
So when you guys do that mod, does the collar spin with the bar?
Yeah.
Is that what you're?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That way the bar doesn't unscrew.
Okay. Yeah, I wish I would have known that. I've had this is one of my oldest guitars, and the bar still spun. And when I pushed the bar down, that hole it screwed into turned into an oval.
Yeah.
Oh,
man. And the bar was like so close to the body, I ended up putting the new style on. I wish I had the old one still.
That's cool, though.
I never knew you could do that.
Yeah.
I know what you guys mean, though. You modify it so just the bar spins, or the whole thing spins. With the collar.
The whole thing spins. Well, what I did was we ordered the old style arm from Floyd Rose and just retrofitted on. I mean, it fits right in the hole. I happen to have one lying around, and I was like, well, let's see if it fits, and it did, and it worked perfectly.
Cool.
Because I wasn't leaving the Peavey one in. It just didn't feel right. It felt like it was broken.
Hey, I got a quick question for you before I forget. I was going to put these tuners, these Grovers, full-size rotomatics on my Star, and take those off.
Yeah.
But they look massively huge. Are they gonna fit?
Yeah. Yep. They're 10 millimeter, just like the hole.
Okay. They just look very big tuners.
Hang on a second. Don't go anywhere.
See, here we go. This is why this turns into a 3-hour event.
I know, this is turning into something else, I know.
Wow. I've never seen Dave walk.
Dave, say something.
You see? You see?
Oh, yeah.
They're on here.
Turn it around back.
Perfectly, you don't... How about that? You see that?
Yeah, I do.
Are those pretty much the same ones that are on those Wolfgang EXPs? Those round back Grovers?
Well, these are the larger ones. The ones that are on the EXPs are the minis, and they're
Okay.
horrible.
Yeah,
These are the ones that you'd find on a Gibson Les Paul.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah, not bad. They work great.
And they're what Eddie had on the guitar originally, actually.
Yeah. That's what Dave was telling me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the Peaveys.
Next.
Let's talk about the Peaveys. As far as the Peavey, did we even? I can't even remember. Ugh.
I don't think we started. I don't even think
Okay.
we started talking about them.
Okay. All right. Well, we tried. The Peavey, to me, the Peavey pickups are they're hotter. Oh, it's like I was saying. Yeah, they're closer. To me, it's closer to the strings than the Music Man. To me, the Peavey has a much stronger, clean tone than the Ernie Ball. I think the Peavey has a how can I say it? Well, I guess one thing is the Peavey. It has a great clean sound, but to me, it's not as unique as the Music Man clean sound. To me, the Music Man clean sound has its own total unique sound.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which not just clean but also dirty as well.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons I was saying I could pick out my Music Man from any other guitar that I own, just from listening to the track. It's like, oh, that's the Music Man. You know, the Peavey, it's a little different. You know, the Peavey, I could have it, even though the Peavey has the two pickups, I could take that, you know, versus another one pickup guitar or Les Paul style guitar, you know, whatever, and the Peavey would be more similar, you know, to that, if that makes any kind of sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sense.
Yeah.
I can't hear myself in my headphones, and so it's a very weird situation.
Yeah. To me, like I said, the Ernie Ball's like the cleanest. Like even when you're playing really dirty, it's something clean about it. You could hear the strings, and the Peavey, to me, is a lot like the EVH pickups, but like a little quieter. Like I don't know, still just as hot, but quieter. I don't know.
I don't know that I would even say they're just as hot. I think they're hotter than the Music Man, but not as hot as the EVHs.
Yeah, the EVH.
No, I meant almost as hot as the EVH, not the Ernie Ball.
Yeah, correct.
Close to the
close
to the EVH.
As they get newer. Yeah, as the newer models get, as you get closer to the newer guitars, they get hotter in stages.
That's what I meant. Yeah. To me, it's close to the EVH, but quieter and a little less hot.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. I don't know.
I would agree. These are a very different change from the Music Man. I remember when I first purchased my first Peavey Wolfgang in '98. It was a patent pending, the 97 or 98, I forget. It might have been early 98. It was a patent pending black standard. And when I plugged it in for the first time, I had a Peavey 5150 combo amp, which I loved. I've owned a bunch of those over the years. And I was blown away. I was like, wow, the bridge pickup on that thing was just like crunchy as all hell. And it was very different than, you know, than the Music Man. Kind of a, you know, a warmer, darker kind of a sound. But the funny thing was, is I noticed I've owned an ivory one, actually a couple of ivory standards, a couple of black standards. I've owned a red one and a whole bunch of purples, and now I have this purple one, which I love and I'm going to hold on to. What I noticed is the change of tone with the different types of wood. The black and the ivory just being totally basswood sounded different with those pickups than like my first purple one I had, which was basswood with a maple cap on it. The maple cap made a different. It almost sounded a little bit brighter to me than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely right.
Really interesting, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Dave, weren't the pickups?
Yeah, the maple cap. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thing. I got one quick question for you. Go ahead.
The maple cap will always make your guitar sound a little brighter.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why they put maple on Les Pauls, because the mahogany body and neck were very dark sounding, and the maple cap brightened it up. It gave it a little bit of a top end.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of maple. That's why, you know, if you owned a maple body Kramer back in the early days, it was very bright, like almost too bright.
Yeah.
You also, if you listen to any of George Lynch, Dokken, Lynch Mob type things, the body on his Tiger guitar is all maple. Yeah. And it's almost ear-piercing how bright that guitar is.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that guitar you're talking about. The specials, the USA Peavey specials they made, I owned a red one, a green one like Dave's, and I think a purple one. But I believe the USA specials were the same pickups. And I think it was the Indonesian ones, the EXPs, that had different pickups in them, correct?
Yeah,
I think so.
Correct. They're the same pickup. The USA is the same pickup as the archtop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had an old gold special. To me, it sounded just as nice as my black Peavey standard.
Yeah.
They were the same to me.
Yeah, I had a few of those. I had a white special, a black special, a purple special, and I made a striped special as well.
I did too.
I had so many of those. I had so many of those guitars. It's ridiculous. I wish I kept some of them.
Let's see if I can find a picture of my striped special I had that I paint striped up. It was a great guitar. I miss that guitar a lot.
Okay, question real quick. Dave, Vinny wants to know what pickup is in his guitar, his Dion Edge guitar.
It's a Gibson pickup. It's probably a Gibson Burstbucker 2 or Burstbucker 3.
Cool.
Dave.
Very good pickup. Those are the pickups that you find in very expensive Gibson Les Pauls.
That was my striped special, Dave. I don't know if you can see it.
Hang on.
So damn bright. Sorry. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, looks just like the real deal.
Yeah. Here's another one.
No, I can't see it. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Here's the back.
Yeah.
That was a great.
Looks just like it.
Yeah, I love that guitar.
Did you have the double eye bolts in the back?
I did not. That's the one thing I didn't do. I did not do the double eye bolts. I didn't own it long enough. I think it started out as a white, or as a cream special, and then I striped it up about maybe 6 months after I owned it. It came out great, and then I probably only had it for 3-4 months, and I was gonna do that. I was gonna put those eyelets in it, but then I ended up getting an offer for it that I couldn't refuse. It was back in the days when I couldn't hang on to a guitar, because back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I mean, you would build a guitar and you literally couldn't go 2 days without posting, and you were getting offers like this. And
Yeah.
I sold a lot of stuff back then, and I you know,
Yeah.
or say gifted.
Yeah, like this one. Like this Peavey I'm holding. Back in the day, I put the old string extension on it. There's an old piece of gaffer tape. I'll peel it off.
How old is that guitar? Oh yeah.
I had the old.
Look at that.
The second eye bolt and the the cord extender.
Oh man,
Wow.
that looks like Ed's guitar.
Yeah.
What's Betty mean?
This guitar is probably my one guitar I couldn't sell. My grandma, when she passed away when I was a little kid,
Yeah.
she left me about $1,700 in a savings account, and
Yeah.
her favorite colors were black and purple. That was her name.
Oh,
This is what I bought with the money. So
that's awesome.
yeah, this is Betty.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good deal, man.
Very cool, man.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, so why did you cut the headstock?
Again, this and my my Black Standard were my guitars in high school. And then this was when EVH was first coming out, and I couldn't afford those at the time. So I kind of regret it, just because I'd like to, just so they would look like the old Peaveys. But it turned out so good that I don't really care.
Yeah, it came out great.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I did that a long time ago. But it turned out
Cool.
good, so I don't care.
What year is that one? That purple one?
I don't even know. You guys tell me.
What's your serial number, do you know?
Does it say Pat Pending on it?
It says just patent 388117 under Eddie's little branded signature,
That's what mine says too.
but the serial number above it is 91024946.
Okay, yours is earlier than mine. Mine's 91025556. That's cool.
I would say that that's probably a 99
Yeah,
in there. Yeah, in there somewhere.
cool.
Hmm.
Sweet.
Okay. So, all right. So that's, I guess, that's the Peavey Peavey guitars, Peavey pickups. Like I said, we go to talk about one thing and we talk for hours and hours and hours in between, which is cool though. All right. So after the Peaveys, I would say the next pickup after that would have been the Art Series. Yes.
Charvel Art Series.
I've never.
Now,
played
what
one.
pickup is that?
I don't know.
Do we know what pickup was in that guitar? I don't. I really don't remember. I know that it was custom for that guitar, and you couldn't buy them anywhere. But I don't know who made them.
I'm gonna go check something. I might be able to find out. Possibly.
Everybody just left.
We're all looking for an answer.
A friend of mine has one of those guitars. I remember I played it. Somebody just commented, "Do you guys have girlfriends?" Lol.
Yes.
Some of us are married. Some of us have girlfriends.
You know, it's because we have cool girlfriends and wives that we can do this. So, what's your excuse?
Well, I'm divorced because of this. No, I'm kidding.
No, not yet.
No, that's not true. My ex-wife was very good about my guitar habit, my gun collection, and everything. She was great about all that. All right, I'm trying to find this here.
What was the website? There was a website for those guitars, remember?
Yeah, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm looking right now.
Yeah, well, a friend of mine has one of those. He had has the black and white one, like the original '78 version
Yeah.
of that guitar.
Have any of you guys played one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've owned every version of it. I've owned a black and white, black and yellow, and a red, white, and black.
What did you
And
think
for
of them?
one reason, I thought they were good guitars. I don't think they were.
Compared to the new ones.
Well, the Charvel ones, they're USA, right?
Yeah.
So they're USA.
Yeah.
The new ones now are Mexican.
Yeah. What I did not like about them was the Floyd nut was installed top mounted, not bottom mounted. I hated that. The black and yellow one that I had, both of the screws were stripped, and Charvel wouldn't do anything about it for me. They wouldn't, and it came that way. It came with both screws stripped, and they wouldn't. At the time, because those guitars were in such high demand and there weren't that many of them, I was SOL.
All right, all I'm seeing for pickups, for bridge pickups on these Art Series Charvels, it says EVH Humbucker. That's all it says.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't give any details on anything else. It just says EVH. So I would imagine it's very similar to probably what he's using in the Wolfgangs. I
remember them sounding similar to the Wolfgangs. They were very hot sounding, very, very hot, and on the low end spectrum. It had a lot of low end to it.
Yeah. Hey, is that Sammy on the floor behind you, Dave?
No, that's Alex.
Alex.
Yeah. Yeah, Sammy is the darker colored cat.
Yeah.
Is that cat's favorite spot?
The middle of the floor.
No.
Because when we talked earlier, that cat was in that same spot earlier. Watch the
Really?
video back. Yeah, you'll see.
Come here. Come.
He's looking at the door or something.
There might be another cat outside. There's like 6 or 7 feral cats that are outside. My mom lives across the street from me, and she has a huge heart and feeds all these feral cats. So they stick around.
Will Ferrell cats?
Will feral cats, yeah.
Step Brothers.
Mom, more meatloaf. Anyway. So yeah, so that's probably the cat's probably looking at another cat outside or whatever. Who knows? So all right, so we don't have any information on the Charvel pickups other than it's EVH. So next.
Yep.
I think Rob is researching it.
Yeah, all I got was EVH. It says EVH Humbucker. That's all it says. Now I'm going back upstairs here to get back to my corner.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your corner.
Yeah. Chris, have you played any of those? Have you played any of those Charvel Art Series guitars?
Nope. I've never even seen one.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this: they look exactly alike, exactly the same to the EVH Stripe series. They other than the wheel, the truss rod adjustment wheel, because they didn't have those.
Yeah.
It was exactly the same guitar.
Yeah. Nicer paint job, though, I may say.
It was paint. They weren't wrapped. They were painted.
Yeah.
So each one of them looked slightly different from each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why they stopped making them. It's just, you know, it took so long to make them.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
They just seem a little more accurate if you're going for, you know, more replica. Like the Bumblebee.
Well, the red one
stripe.
didn't look accurate at all.
It
The red one looked least accurate of all of them.
Okay.
The Seagulls looked nothing like the original, like Eddie's guitar, like or like our guitar, or, you know.
That guitar just never did.
And
I don't know.
Yeah, just never. You know, I owned it because at the time it was the thing to have. It was what was available, and it was cool.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it was striped, but, you know, do I really care? No.
I mean, it always looked so weird. A 5150 body with a Frankenstrat paint job. It just didn't look right. To me, it was always.
Well, it wasn't a 5150 body. It was a Charvel body.
No, I know it wasn't. I shouldn't say it. I mean, it was, you know, a single, you know.
A rear mount. You mean rear-mounted single pickup?
Right. Yeah, it just didn't look right on that body style to me, you know.
Right. They should have at least, if they were going to do anything, they should have at least put a pick guard on top of it.
Exactly.
Like the broken pick guard.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Eddie did in 2000. Eddie did that in 2012. They were still rear mounted, but he put either a white or a black pick guard just on top of it, screwed it on, even though it was rear mounted, to make it look more realistic.
That's right.
He did that on quite a few of those guitars.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They should have done the same thing, but they didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those red ones. Yeah, the striping pattern was very different. The white one and the yellow one, the yellow and black, they were more closer to the original guitars.
Yes.
Yeah, but the back of the black and yellow still wasn't correct. It wasn't like the original. It didn't have the same striping pattern as the original.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the black and white one did.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, who is this? I'm getting so many. Steven. Is this Steven? Okay. The guy that asked if we have girlfriends. Let's see. He says he would like to hear us play. Yeah. Generally on these videos, it's more of a discussion thing because of the sound quality isn't. It's like somebody who has a guitar there.
Go ahead, Chris. Play.
Either of you plugged in?
Chris, play.
Okay, right there. All right, stop. All right, stop. So you hear that? You hear how the sound? You could hear it, and then it just like dropped. That's the reason why we don't play in these things. It's more for just discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Paul. Oh, that's okay. Stephen Paul from Great Neck, New York. Yes, you commented the other day.
Stephen lives about 15 minutes away from me. I don't know him, but he lives 15 minutes away from me.
Just listen for the Van Halen guitar late at night, Stephen, and that's Nesdall's place.
But really, I mean, none of us really play guitar. You know, we don't have girlfriends or wives. We just buy. We don't even know how to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we generally we don't play in these things, although we can. Like we were talking to
Yeah.
Alan Garber this morning. He played. He was playing. It really depends on the volume, on the setup. I think we've come to the conclusion that you can play guitar within these hangouts, but it has to be quiet. It has to be on a clean channel. It can't be distorted. Can't be too loud. Kind of like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Something like that.
He says, I was really wondering, lol.
That sounds good.
Yes. But yeah, if you want to actually hear us play, though, we do have individual, well, I don't know about you guys, websites.
Yep. Check out my YouTube channel. You'll see me playing.
Or Facebook pages. Or YouTube. There you go. YouTube's.
Yeah.
We all have different YouTube channels where you can go and you can actually hear us play.
Yeah, we all got YouTube stuff.
YouTube's. Okay, who's that?
YouTube.
Vinny. Vinny, tell Rob Johnson I appreciate his Van Halen t-shirt.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What shirt is that? Is it like a rainbow or something?
Yeah, it's the 1980 Van Halen shirt.
Oh, cool.
Is that an official one?
Yeah, it came from the Inside magazine. Jeff Hausman sent me.
Nice.
Yep. It's a cool shirt I got. I've only owned it for maybe a month. I kind of like it. Got that old
Yeah,
school.
that is cool. They have that in men's size?
It's got that YMCA kind of, vibe to it, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
My goodness.
Yeah. I used to have an original 1981 jersey,
That's cool.
I used to, and that somebody gave me. Somebody just gave it to me, and I used to wear that. Years ago, well, actually not that many years ago, but long enough ago.
What are the
let's
questions
see.
we have?
Philip Reed Wallace says, very nice guitar. That was 15 minutes ago. So I don't know what guitar he's talking about, but thank you. Brent. I can't. How come I can't see these? Let me open this up somewhere else. I actually can't see the whole. Oh, here we go. Oh, very nice guitar. Oh, that's he's talking about my Peavey Wolfgang, and that's on a different video. That's not even. He's not even watching us right now.
Oh, how dare he?
So I get comments all day long on all these different videos. Let's see. Brent Z Rocks. This is what I have in my 2013 EVH. It rocks. And there's a photo attached. So that'll be within the comments of this video. Douglas. Hello?
Sorry, guys.
Who is it?
What is it?
Douglas, is it Bedore? Bedore? Is that
Okay. Bedore?
Would the E make a sound on that?
Why don't you ask it?
I don't know. Anyway, Douglas. Douglas says, after all the guitars that you own in Eddie Van Halen library, how do you guys stand on the tone wood debate? Is there a difference? Many claim that it doesn't exist. Thank you. That's a whole other video, man.
Yeah, those who claim that it doesn't exist don't have ears.
So that's a whole other. We're gonna have to schedule that one. That's gonna have to be another day. There's a whole. That, like what I was saying, that's the Roth versus Hagar. What else was it I said? Something versus something else. Tonewood versus. It's all the same. It's all. There's so many different. You can debate that stuff all day long.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, I'll say one thing. I will say one thing. In a live situation, when you have all that distortion in a crowd that, you know, a crowd of people that are screaming, you really can't hear the difference. Where you can hear the difference is in the studio, when you're recording. If you're in a small room, that's when you really hear the difference. Or, you know, you can even hear the difference when you're playing the guitar acoustically with no amplifier. You can hear the difference in the way it sounds acoustically.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you know, it depends on the application.
Yes. Yeah, mainly though hearing it acoustically. Like if you're strumming the Ernie ball versus strumming the Peavey, you can tell which guitar is which, even just acoustically. But like Dave was saying, if you're really cranking a guitar, whatever, there are differences, but it really comes down to when you're recording. You can really hear the difference on playback. You know, and that comes real quickly. I pre-recorded some of my guitars for this. I'll have the links to those recordings once this is done live. They'll be in the description. I professionally, you know, recorded my Music Man, my Peavey, my EVH Special. What else? Oh, and my Circles. This one. The Stripe Series Circles. I recorded each of those guitars, playing basically the same riffs on each guitar. And so, check out in the description below, and you'll be able to hear my links to those. And you can totally hear how each guitar really does sound different. Let's see. Douglas, yes, my EVH Ernie balls seem to resonate very well. I agree. Awesome. Let's see. Dark Sim 77 says, "God, wanky, wanky, masturbation, dive bomb, even more wanky, wanky, masturbation. What a crappy, shitty demo." And that's on one of my videos. Well, thank you very much. That's on the when I played the EVH Special Mexican through the LBX when I was with the Zipkin at Guitar Center. Check out that video. That's the one he just commented on. So, well, hey, I mean it's an Eddie Van Halen guitar, Eddie Van Halen amp. People want to hear the wanky wanky. I mean that's what it is. It's Van Halen. You know?
Yeah.
So he's not watching this either. That was just apparently he's watching that video right now. Guitar Samurai 1 says, any thoughts on EVH Special made in Japan? Good or bad?
I've never tried one.
I have. I think they're great. I think they're awesome. What about you guys? Have you guys played the Japanese EVH Special?
How many EVH specials?
This is a Japanese special. This is a Japanese stealth.
Is there any besides the Japanese and the Mexican?
Chinese.
Yeah, that's what yours is, right, Johnny?
Mm-hmm.
Which one came out first?
I would say
the Japanese.
I would say the Japanese and then the Chinese.
Then they went to China. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
If not at the same time, maybe. The difference? The necks are a little different.
Okay. I thought it was just Japanese and Mexican. I didn't know there was
there's a Chinese one as
third
well.
one. Okay.
Yeah. The one that I have is the hardtail version. So there's no Floyd on mine.
Yeah.
And it's a great guitar. I mean, even when I first saw them at NAMM, what, 3 years ago, I was blown away by the quality of the Chinese guitars.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
There's a Brazilian one too, isn't there?
No, I played on one of the
Yeah.
The Brazilian one is more like this, though.
Nice one, Dave. Oh, by the way, this is a Japanese special. It was a stealth. It is my 2015 tour relic, and it is available if anyone is interested. Please contact me if you want. Because
Awesome.
I have a new toy coming on Thursday, and Dave and Chris know what it is because they have one, and Johnny knows what it is.
Because I don't have one.
Awesome.
But this is available for your collection. Some cheap-ass advertising right there.
Okay, Mel.
It's okay.
Mel, this was 10 minutes ago. Mel says, no, Chris. The Peavey headstock with the scoop is, in my opinion, the coolest looking and my favorite one. I don't like pointing headstocks.
So there.
Okay.
I disagree, but
Richard Schick. Hey, Richard. Says, I played an art series back in 2007, and it was very much like the Peavey Special. It actually wasn't set up very well. It was about the same build-wise as the EVH Stripe series. Not worth the asking price, in my opinion, for the art series.
Well, let me guess. He played that at Guitar Center? You don't have. No one has to really answer that, but that's
It doesn't say.
That's what it is. If they, if they played it at a big box store like that, chances are the guitar wouldn't be set up because their employees don't get paid to set guitars up; they get paid to sell. So, you have to really know what you want and do your own setup. If you like the guitar, take it home and set it up.
yep.
Yeah, don't judge a guitar by the condition it's in at Guitar Center, and that's actually a sad thing. I mean, a lot of people,
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of
It's,
people. The only time they see these guitars is at a store like that, and the stuff is beat because the stuff gets jammed on all day long, every day. You know.
Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate right now, Johnny. How would you feel if you went to a store like that and you were not allowed to play the guitars? Would you buy a guitar there?
No.
All right. So that's the double-edged blade. Either you don't let customers play the guitar and you have a pristine guitar on your shelf that's going to stay there forever, or you let people buy them, and yeah, you discount them a little bit because they may have a scratch or two on them, but they get sold, and people play the guitars, and they're happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is. And because I worked in a store like that, because I worked in that store, you had to have a happy medium. Now, when I worked there, it was a little bit different because the sales staff, when I worked there, actually knew what they were doing, especially in my store. And when I started there, I was like the guitar department manager, and I trained my guys to set up guitars. So when they weren't selling, they were setting them up to play well. They didn't necessarily have to put new strings on guitars every day, but they had to make sure that they were in tune and playable. And I did it myself. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't make my guys do anything that I wasn't willing to do myself. So, that now is a little bit different. But back then,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I know exactly. I know exactly what you're saying, and yeah, I mean it's yeah, when you go into Guitar Center, you gotta, what do you call it? What's the word? You don't pay what they're asking for the stuff.
Negotiate.
Well, yeah.
You have to go in there with an open mind. You have to,
because-
there are other things to look for other than a well set up guitar. The weight of the guitar, the way the way it sounds. I mean, you can tell. You can strum a guitar, and if it's resonating, then it's a good guitar. Take it home and set it up.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the sales guy, hey, I'll buy it if you give me a new pack of strings for it. There's things you can do because chances are a guitar is not going to be well set up unless you're a small custom shop like the Music Zoo, for instance. It's a very small store. They have only really high-end stuff. Everything is going to be set up, to a point. I mean, it's not going to be. Not everything is set up the way I like it, at that store. But it's a little bit different. Everything is at least playable, and then when you get it home, you set it up the way you like it. It's the same thing with you go out and you buy an Armani suit. You're not going to buy an Armani suit off the rack because it's not going to fit you. You have to get an Armani suit tailored for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And basically you take the guitar home and you tailor it to the way you like it.
This has turned into a Guitar Center chat all of a sudden. But the guitars at Guitar Center, and I'm not knocking on Guitar Center. I'm saying in general, a store like that, where anybody can come in and just jam Metallica all day long on each guitar, the stuff gets abused, and you're basically buying a brand new guitar that's used.
Right.
It was brand new when it was in there, and then it gets used over time.
Yeah.
But let's just say when you go to, I don't know why we're even talking about this now, but when you go to buy a guitar, let's just say hopefully you know what you're looking at, you know what it is. If there's something wrong with it, you know how to fix it, because more than likely the guy selling it to you doesn't have an idea, really about what the guitar is.
These days, correct.
Yeah.
And we're talking about this because the question was that he played a Charvel Art Series and it was not set up, therefore he didn't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, quit copying me.
Yeah, I know. You might have got chrome hardware on it, and
Yeah, yours is better.
Good girl.
and it's got pearl tuners. Hey, Chris, look, I cut the
So
little
in my book, Chris.
What's that?
What'd you do with the nubs?
Nubs.
I don't know.
What'd you do with the nubs?
Nubs.
Oh, you mean the
You
scoop?
said you cut something off? I don't know. You said what?
What'd you do with the scoop when you cut it out on your Peavey?
Oh, my Peavey? I threw it away.
Ah, that's vintage.
Sacrilege. Yeah.
That's a vintage piece, man.
A vintage scoop.
A vintage scoop.
I tried selling it on eBay. One vintage scoop.
Yes, I bet you get sold.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody would buy it.
Glue it to your new EVH. Turn your EVH into a Peavey.
Yeah.
So funny.
Really kick Hartley
Very
off.
funny stuff.
Let's see. Darks. Oh man, this guy's just bagging on me. Again, he's not watching. If you're watching this right now, hey, my video of me playing the. Actually, that guitar you guys are holding. I'm playing that same guitar through the LBX at Guitar Center.
Yeah.
This guy, Dark Sim 77, says, "What the f is this S?" He's just like going to town with the hate.
Well, I guess he's wasting his time watching us, so I guess he doesn't have anything better else to do. So.
Yeah,
Right.
he's watching the video, and that's what counts. He's watching your video, buddy.
Yeah.
Who cares what he says? That guy's a nobody.
If you got nothing better to do, then do something different.
What's he doing on his YouTube channel?
Who knows?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Does he even have one?
Hopefully he. Oh, Alberto says he's mad because he can't play EVH riffs. That's what Alberto says.
Attaboy, Alberto. You tell him.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, hopefully he visits my channel and sees that we're live right now, and he can actually watch us right now.
I'll teach you one riff right here. Okay, ready? Just this. That's all you get.
Okay.
You have a party?
Okay.
Is that what time it is? Is that what time it is?
Okay. Richard Schick says it was a big store. Yeah. Bill's Music in Washington, D.C. I don't even bother trying guitars at GC. I'll just hold them and check the build quality and wait. Neck strength, neck straightness, etc. Same with me, man. Most of the time when I go into guitar shops, I never plug into anything. I'll just pick it up. I'll play it acoustically.
Yeah.
You know, because actually the truth is I'm too embarrassed to plug in. You know.
But you can actually tell. I'd rather play an electric guitar acoustically to really feel how it resonates better than plugging it in. I mean, I want to plug it in too to hear what it sounds like, but I get a better, you know, I mean.
Yeah, I mean myself, I can play on stage. I've played, you know, in front of, you know, theaters. I've done tours. I've played in front of a lot of people, and I can do that, no problem. What I cannot do is go into Guitar Center and plug in and play a guitar. It's just, for me, it's embarrassing. I can't do it. Alberto, was that you? Anyone know why Eddie? Huh? Going wild. Anyone know why Eddie? I think what you're saying, what he's saying here is, why did Eddie use a wire instead of going wireless on some of those tours?
I think in '95, when the Balance tour was over, Eddie was looking for a change in his sound, and you'll notice the very processed, you know, chorusy harmonized sound that he had in the Balance tour, which happens to be my absolute favorite Ed sound, which I believe is Chris's as well. I love the Balance era sound. He was wireless then. Eddie had been using wireless systems from for years up until then. And then in '98, he went back to the basics almost. He was using the 5152 amplifiers. He was using the Peavey Wolfgangs exclusively. And he went back to a chord. He kind of dried up a lot of his sound. I don't think he was using the Bradshaw switching system anymore. He might have been. I don't think he was. And I don't even believe he was really using a typical wet-dry-wet setup. It wasn't. He really dried it up a lot, and it wasn't very processed down. He took a lot of the harmonizer away. Eventide really wasn't getting utilized that much. A lot of people like that sound. I really didn't particularly care for it. It was much more raw sounding. One of the things that he said back in those days, and I remember I have a million guitar magazines where he says this, is Eddie actually said that he wanted to get more in tune with his amp. He wanted to be more in touch with it, and he felt that the wireless systems weren't doing it anymore, and he wanted to use a chord. The problem was he used a chord in the '98 tour, he used it in the '04 tour, and then the '07 tour, and the guy was constantly tripping over the damn thing. I mean, he had, like, you know, yardsticks on the back of his guitars, and, you know, 15 different eyelets and all this crap he had all over his guitar so the wire would stay out of his way, and he was constantly unplugging the thing and tripping over it and getting it caught on the, you know, on Sammy's mic stand. It was constantly happening. So what you saw was, in 2012, he finally went back to a wireless system. And I personally like his sound better when he's using wireless.
Well,
That's
you
just-
know, you got to also think that wirelesses have come a long way since '95. I mean, back in '95, he had the top of the line. You couldn't get better. I think he was using a Sony,
Yeah.
something, some sort of Sony.
Yeah.
And you can only imagine that now it's 2012. How much better is the wireless system now? How much better is Wi-Fi nowadays?
Oh yeah.
You know, just the radio waves, going through the air. Your tone is much better these days than it would have been in the '90s to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, just radio waves in general. I mean, our phones, everything it's much better now than it ever was.
Yeah.
So wirelesses would have to follow suit and be better.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I used a Nady
And
wireless
he's
back
Eddie
in
Van,
'92.
and he's Eddie Van Halen. So, you know, he's getting the best of the best that's out now.
Yep. I think he uses a Shure UF4D digital right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree with you, Rob. I think he was just sick of the over-processed. He ditched the wireless, ditched the harmonizer, ditched the MIDI.
Yeah.
You still used a wet, dry, wet, but it was only delays, just like now.
Yeah.
It just his delays are in stereo.
Yeah.
No harmonizer. And he went from the most processed to the most guitar to tube amp raw as you can get.
Yeah. He did a
EVH3.
drastic change.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Pretty dramatic change.
Absolutely. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Although I will say, in the last tour, 2015, I will say his sound sounded. It was still. It didn't sound like the Balance tour, but it was probably as close to that as I've heard in a while. It was a little bit more. Definitely more than the last few tours, I would say. Maybe some of this is.
He used the chorus a little bit more this time around, especially like on Cathedral. There was chorus on Cathedral, where he for a long time stopped using chorus.
Mm-hmm. He only used.
He used chorus. He used chorus sparingly, but he did use it. The beginning to Women in Love, he had a chorus on for that. The beginning to Hear About It Later, I mean, he had his flanger on for that. You know, he was using modulation a lot this tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pretty Woman, but they didn't play it 2015, but 2008, 2012, right. Pretty Woman, he used a chorus. Little Guitars, I think he used it a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Little Guitars definitely has that that chorusy. What sound is that? Is that a delay, like a slap?
I think it's modulation on the delay on the repeats of the delay.
Is that the DC? Is that the Roland? The Roland
Don't
is that
know.
the DC-30 Roland?
I think so.
On little guitars? I know that's what he used on.
Oh, you mean in the
Cathedral,
the original? I thought it was an SDE 3000.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, they're different things. Yeah. I'm just saying on the albums, on the records.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he used on the albums, but this last tour he had the Boss chorus ensemble for all the chorus stuff he did. But
it wasn't the MXR?
No, he had the MXR analog chorus. Is that what you're talking about?
That was
the five-knob
MXR
chorus.
The yellow one. That was a few tours ago.
No, not the yellow one. The blue one.
Yeah, that was 2008. He used that blue one
from
like A Different Kind of Truth album. I think he used it on like the intro to Bullet Head and stuff. But like the couple of weeks before the Jimmy Kimmel show, that's when he changed it to the chorus ensemble.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Or no, he used the MXR on the Jimmy Kimmel. Like a week after is when he switched to the Boss.
Oh, okay.
Which is right around when he switched from the Stealth to the Relic guitar too.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that guitar was presented to him like a
Yeah.
couple days before the tour
If
started.
you go to Wolfgang's, do you guys go on Instagram at all?
Sometimes, yeah.
If you go to Wolfgang's old post, he posted a picture of his yellow bass. It's a close-up picture, and the description is just, "We like to play a lot." It's when they were, when Wolfgang was posting those videos of Ed playing like In a Simple Rhyme and little guitars. That picture has the chorus ensemble sitting on top of the MXR. Like he was trying it out. It was just sitting on top of it. The chords were plugged into it. That's right when he switched.
Yeah.
It was a little after Kimmel.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Should we answer another question?
Yeah.
We still have more pickups to talk about. This is like a 5-hour event.
Oh my God.
Mel, 12 minutes ago, Mel says, have any of you guys ever owned or played... Wait, did I answer this? Have you owned or played a Peavey Special, not the Wolfgang?
Yes.
I don't understand. What's the...
The one that took place of the Peavey Wolfgang after... Oh, the HP.
Oh no, I've never played an
Right?
HP.
You're talking about the Peavey Wolfgang HP that they made after Eddie left.
It's
I've
not a
owned
Wolfgang.
blue.
It didn't...
Oh no, HP.
It's called it looks like the Wolfgang, but the horns are different size.
Yeah, and it has a floating trem. I've never owned one.
How many have you
I've
owned?
never tried one.
Never
tried one.
Never tried one. Never tried one.
Okay.
Never cared to.
Okay.
No.
As soon as I left Peavey, I moved on. Seriously, if it's not an Eddie Van Halen guitar, I have absolutely no interest in it whatsoever.
Blue Strat.
Yeah, I know.
Have you guys ever owned a EXP though?
No.
For a little bit.
I played them, and I played one, and I was like, what the hell is this piece of crap? I mean, it was horrible.
Yeah. I had no idea that they were different. I owned a blue one for a couple months. Oh, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
There were some decent ones I hear. Some of the guys on VH Link said you could get a decent one if you were lucky. They all looked nice, but they just didn't play great from my experience. But
yeah,
I've only played
very, very cheap. They were very poorly made. They were very cheap.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's try to do this quickly. I think we've been on for like 2 hours now.
Yeah, 2 hours.
And I know it's later where you guys are, man.
Yeah, I got to get going in a minute because I got to be at 4:30 in the morning. So.
Oh no. Okay. Oh, we have so many more questions from before. Ugh. Okay.
We still have those questions too. I was talking to you about Johnny the other day.
I know. Me too. The same guy who sent you those questions.
Can we just move on? Can we instead of talking about it? Can we just move on?
He sent me. He might have sent me the same questions he sent you. Okay. All right. A lot of these questions we're getting, we'll get to these eventually. But okay, let's talk about the pickups. Okay, so we went from Peavey, Charvel. Okay.
EVH.
Let's jump onto these
Wolfgang.
things.
How about this one?
Yes. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about this. 2 different pickups.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeremy, yo. All right. Rob just left.
No, I'm right here.
Nice shorts.
Purple, Umbros, old Umbros. So this is the EVH Frankenstrat pickup. It's not the signed one. It's the regular one. Hello. And this is the pickup that I put in my Frankenstrat. It's this one right here. So Very, very nice sounding pickup. Like it a lot. It's very, very warm sounding. To me, it has a lot of characteristics of an original PAF. I believe. I've played a few guitars that have had the original PAFs in them, and this particular one, I think, has some pretty similar tonal qualities. Very warm sounding, very brown. Got that buzzy sort of Unchained Fair Warning-ish, VH1 sound. When you play, it almost sounds like it's, like I said, it almost sounds kind of buzzy sounding to me. Very, very warm. I love it. Love this.
I have the same one in my Frankie.
You do too?
I think it complements the Northern Ash.
Yeah, me too. That's what this is.
I agree. I agree. It's a very dark sounding pickup, and since the Ash is a very bright sounding guitar, it's great for that guitar.
Yeah, totally agree.
I also have that pickup in my 1984 Kramer, and I don't like it. It's too dark, and too overdriven in a poplar body.
I would assume it wouldn't sound good in like a basswood or a poplar.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's there, and I have so many of those guitars that I'm not going to change it because it's a different color. So I'm sure I could use it at some point, but it's not my favorite. Okay, so that's the Frankenstein. So Wolfgang.
Johnny, you got the box.
Chris, you're up.
What's that?
You're up. Talk about the Wolfgang pickups.
Okay. Real quickly too. Let's try to wrap this up within like 10 minutes.
Yeah, because I gotta put stuff in my eyes. Anyway.
All right. I'm so happy. We appreciate you guys watching this. We got 31 people looking at us. 33 people. Whoa. We appreciate it. We really appreciate you guys watching. And yeah, send your questions in. Leave them. We'll get to them. We won't get to them tonight. We'll get to them next time. So Chris, what do you think about those pickups?
Are we finally talking about my favorite pickup?
Yes.
I love these. To me, they're the hottest. I just love them. The harmonics, everything.
Well, that guitar's beat to hell. What'd you do to it?
What's the matter, Chris? You can't afford a new-looking guitar?
I can't. No, this pickup it's the stuff, man. This is my favorite. What do you guys think of it?
I love it.
I agree. It's extremely hot sounding, and normally I'm not a fan of the hotter sounding pickups, but I have to say that is absolutely. I'm gonna sound like don't know what I'm talking about, but it is my favorite pickup, especially in that guitar and in these guitars. I have
pickup
that
I like.
pickup. I have that pickup. What's that?
Pickup I like. Just say that.
Pickup I like. Yeah, I have that same pickup in my Neptune, New Jersey Kramer.
Me like
it sounds
pickup.
good in that as well. It sounds good, but it sounds the best in these Wolfgang guitars, and it is, since the Wolfgangs have been my favorite guitar for a while now. They are my favorite pickup.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
I like your glasses, by the way, Dave.
Thank you. They're very similar to yours. I got them because
so?
I wanted to be just like you, Johnny. Next I'll have that hat. They're shaped a little differently, but they are tortoiseshell.
Okay.
We'll start making glasses replicas now.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm going to stripe these actually.
What do you think of this humbucker in the Stripe series? It's supposed to be the same.
I think they're okay. I think they sound good. I haven't changed. That's a lie. I did change the pickup in my black and yellow, but I haven't changed it in my Star, and I haven't. When I had the black and white, I left that pickup in as well. It sounded fine in there.
Would you say it sounds a little brighter or darker in your stripes in the Strat style?
I would say it sounds a little darker because the maple cap on the Wolfgang will brighten up the sound of that pickup, and that's probably why I like it so much, because the maple cap on that guitar brightens the pickup up, even though it's dirty. It keeps it a little bright sounding.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that goes back to that.
With the exception of the Stealth guitar. I don't really care for. I mean, compared to the white guitar and the flame top, I don't really like the way the Stealth sounds. It sounds a little choked, and we've gone through this already.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Johnny, your feeling?
It's my turn?
Yep. Talk. Say something.
Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Hefner. Pickup I like. No. Questions. We can't answer questions, man.
No more questions. No more questions. Questions are over.
All right.
Finish your thought on the pickups.
We'll answer the questions next time, Jeremy. Sorry. Jeremy Hefner is leaving like a lot of comments and questions on the All Things EVH thread of this video. The EVH Frankenstein pickup I've never played. I've only heard it, whether it be in Eddie's Frankenstein or one of your guys's. The kind you can buy, this kind. I've got one right here, right there. These pickups, I love them. I think, like you guys said, they're very hot. Which currently on this box it says 16K, which is hot.
That's hot.
Very hot. They crank through a high gain amp. They sound amazing. Clean. They clean up, but they're still pretty dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're so hot. You can listen to my sound samples. They'll be once. They won't be there now. Well, why am I saying that? Look down if you're watching this in the year, 3010. If you're watching this 100 years from now, look down in the description and you'll see some links that I have put down there of that pickup, of each of these pickups, and it's each guitar that I played. It's the Music Man, the Peavey Wolfgang, the EVH Stripe Series Circles, if it matters, and the EVH Special Hardtail. I played each of those guitars through my Peavey 1991 block logo, again, if it matters, 5150 half stack. So you can hear each pickup in each guitar through the same amp, same settings, and you can hear the difference. So that's right down below in the description. If anybody out there wants to send me some links to the same kind of deal, if you guys record your guitars, if you want to add some links in the future, send them to me. I'll put them below. I know YouTube doesn't do what do you call it? Reply videos? What were those called? Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember on YouTube, you used to be able to reply to a video, and it'd be your video underneath whatever video you were talking to, right? Yeah, they don't allow that anymore. But anybody out there, if you want to record a video of you playing your Van Halen guitar, different pickup, different amp, whatever it is, and tell your thoughts on it, go ahead and send it to me, and I'll post it. I can post it below. So anyway, the EVH pickups, they're awesome. They're great. They're hot. And I think that's it, because I got to run. So.
Hey, real quick, Rob, what's your favorite pickup?
My favorite pickup.
No comment.
No, the Duncan 78.
Okay.
I love the Duncan 78. And right after that would be this one. It would be this one, the Frankenstein. Really love that sound. Just love it. I mean, it's just got a real smooth, you know. It's just great. Great sound. Can't tell it's plugged in, but.
Cool.
Sweet. Dave, can you kind of put them in order? Quick summary.
Can I put him in order? Yeah. I'd say the Peavey Wolfgang is my favorite. I'm sorry, the EVH Wolfgang pickup. Then the Music Man, Peavey, Frankenstein, and the JB.
Nice. I've never played a JB yet, but my list is the exact same as yours.
You'll play it soon. You're putting a JB in your 5150, right?
It's already in it.
You need one of these,
for my
right?
neck.
Is this what you're waiting for?
I just talked to Scott like 2 weeks ago. Should be here soon.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, Scott, I sent Scott a quick message about 2-3 hours ago, and I showed him what my new toy is going to be. And he said, "That's great, dude." He goes, "You're going to relic it, right?" And I go, "I don't think so. I think I'm going to put Kill Switch in it. Kill Switch is already on the way." And he goes, "I think you're going to change your mind."
I sent him a picture of mine. He was asking me questions about it.
Yeah. I don't think he's done one yet.
Not easy to relic. It's
No.
not easy to relic. You know, I mean, Chris will tell you it's not the easiest thing to do because it's not black underneath.
It's bare wood.
No, it's
You gotta picture. You gotta imagine Scott's gonna do one though.
I'm sure he'll do one. He told me a few weeks ago when I got my Peavey from him, he said that he's got so many projects on the back burner right now.
Mm-hmm. That's what he told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get to it eventually.
Yeah. I think yours is probably one of a kind. I don't think anybody's bought one of those yet and done what you've done to it yet.
But people are putting the kill switch in left and right. I've seen photos of everyone doing that. I think I'm the only one left behind so far.
Yeah, I've seen a few people put the kill switch in, but
I saw one on Facebook today. Unfortunately, it's not in the right spot.
Yeah, I hate that.
yeah, his white one, it's not only is it centered between here and the pickup like a stealth, but it's lower.
Yeah. It's closer. It's closer to the bridge pickup than the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more in line with the black bobbin than in the middle of the pickup.
Yes. Yeah, it's right. The center of the kill switch is between the bottom of the black bobbin and the silver. The screws. If you look at it straight.
Yep, the tab, the silver tab, correct.
Yep.
So, Chris, when my new toy comes in, I put the kill switch in. You're going to do the relic for me, right? Because obviously we know you can do it.
Yeah, about that. Kid won't do one for me. He's going to do one for you.
I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. There'd have to be a lot of money involved, I think.
Dave, can you send me a white rubber band for the pickup? I can't find any anywhere. Do you have one?
I guess I'll have to go to Staples to get one for you.
That's where you got it, Staples?
Well, I mean, that's where you can get them. I don't have any. I'll have to go get one for you.
No, I'll go get one. If it's at Staples, I'll go get one.
Yeah, you can get them at Staples. You know, Chris will show you the way Eddie did it was a regular rubber band that he did around twice because the bottom of it is it's mixed. Show him, Chris.
Yeah, the rubber band Chip put on the relics, and I mean this is getting really nerdy. We're talking about the rubber band, but Chip put a fat rubber band on it, just wrapped around once. The real one is just a standard rubber band, one that comes on a newspaper or something.
Yeah.
It's the most standard rubber band you could find.
How
And
fat?
you wrap it around twice. And since you wrap it, the bottom part, it's twisted a little.
Yeah.
And there's a piece of gaffer's tape.
Yeah, that's the one thing I didn't do is I didn't put the gaffer's tape on, which I should have done. But Rob, I'll find you one if you want. I just have to go get it. That's all.
All mine is tape. I thought he just had tape on it. But,
That's a good alternative.
Yeah, I mean,
the rubber band really helps the tone too.
Well, it does keep the high E string from getting under the lip.
Yeah, it does.
All right, listen, I gotta go, guys. I'd love to hang and chat, but I gotta put drops in my eyes. I'm already late for that.
Yes, I'm here. All right, I got to run too. But yeah, as far as the pickups, yeah, the EVH versions are my favorites. The EVH GEAR Wolfgang. I have several. Dave gave me one. My buddy Chip gave me 3 of them. I bought one from another guy. So I have them in several of my guitars.
Sweet.
So, okay, everybody, thanks for watching this. All your questions and comments that we did not get to, we'll address in a future episode of this. Yeah. And we probably have more to talk about. We might have to do a part 2 of this because there's a lot of other pickups we didn't even get to. The unofficial.
We can do a part 2.
The unofficial Eddie pickups made by different companies.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Rob Johnson, great to see you, man. David Nesdahl, it's always fun. Chris Hubbard, great to see you, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And also,
you guys.
Also, thanks to Kevin Dodds for joining us for a little bit. And Alan Garber, thanks to you for this morning. Jeremy Hafner, Vinny, Alberto, everybody for watching this stuff. Thank you, Philip Reed Wallace. I'm doing my award speech. Brent Xerox, thank you very much. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching this stuff.
Thank you.
You really like me. You like
love me. You really.
That's
like
right.
me.
And a special thanks to the critic.
Yes.
Yes.
Special thank you.
Very special thanks to you, pal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hope you're still
Yeah. Go take a crap in your hat too.
All right. So yeah, thanks for watching this stuff, everybody. Please if you dig it, slap a like on it. That really helps. Subscribe to the channel if you're not, because we do a lot of these types of videos, types of discussions. If you have any questions, comments, you can always leave them within the comments of a video, like that guy did earlier on a different video, and we'll address that. So again, any other questions or comments that we got tonight, we'll discuss them later, because we have several left over from before. Rob Johnson has one that somebody sent him. I have one that somebody sent me, blah, blah, blah. So, all right, we're out of here. Johnny Beane, johnnybeane.com. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys Wednesday, maybe. All right.
Good night, guys.
Bye.
Rock on.
Woo!